Hi all and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be going over the summer miniature wargame releases since summer's coming to a close. And this is everything new that have me interested and some old releases as well I am just getting around to. So let's jump right into a quick video explaining pretty much what games have been obsessing me this last month of July and made my video schedule a little harder to get a hold of as I've been trying to get things ready to actually be able to play. Starting off, we have Age of Sigmar 4.0 or Age of Sigmar 4th Edition. Either one works. It is a fantastic new edition with a few small road bumps. The biggest road bump is manifestations are just a lot. They are a lot. They are really annoying to deal with. I know a couple people who went to GTs and it's just manifestations endlessly. It is something that probably needs to be fixed. Now, I am not saying manifestations are bad. I absolutely love that they are free. The problem is that there is an obvious good one, and because they are free, people are only taking the obvious good one. There need to be a little bit of just rules, tweaks, and something done, even if manifestations all cost up under 50 points, and the faction one is free. Then that would mean just more variety in list building and more options. Although, it is what it is. The new faction reworks are a little bland, but also a great start if the Battletomes build off of them correctly. I managed to get 5 games in so far, and I love all the new rules. I love how everything interacts. I love the I do my movement phase, are you going to respond type of flow it has. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes it's weird because I feel like rushing through it, but I don't know, it's more interactive. I like more interactive games. I far prefer them. Double turns are just fantastic now, but only get taken if they win the game, which is why I think they're fantastic. The only times a double turn have been taken is when the opponent thinks they can table me or use it as a way to table me. Now, I have turned that around on the opponent once or twice because I can now interact in their double turn, and they also forfeit more points. So if I survive their double turn, then I'm good, and I like that. It's more interactive than the double turn used to feel. The new battle tactics are good, except deaths. Deaths just suck. They really suck. They're really hard to do. They're really annoying and just frustrating. The reworked missions and the terrain setup suggestions are great on the general handbook cards. I absolutely love them. And the lower rend all around is amazing and helps my Skaven and Ogres feel better with their really crappy saves mostly along the board. Or I should say, mostly in how I like to run them. I don't necessarily run them the best way possible. On to the next thing that has been obsessing me lately is Bolt Action. Bolt Action's 3rd edition will be coming out soon and will be heavily covered on this channel. I plan on making several videos about it because Bolt Action is a game that is near and dear to my heart. We have some new army building rules in a whole platoon style, which really, since I play Italian, I kind of just have to wait to see exactly how much it's going to limit me. The new shooting rules are fantastic. I got a bit worried with just the 4-ups, but so the way the bolt action shooting rules used to work is it was a 3-up to hit and there were a ton of modifiers you could do. They have simplified and streamlined the modifiers and added a cover save, which was not there before. So you have a 4-up to hit with extra modifiers and then a cover save. I kind of like it the more I look at it, although in practice will heavily depend. The new unit profiles, everything's getting slightly reworked to be better, and I cannot wait for all of it. Also, vehicles, MMGs not hitting as much, and stuff like that I think is good and good for balance, because the large Daka tanks were just very overbearing, and the fact that I, as an Italian player, don't feel like I need to run my Daka tank to be really good is good. Everything we have seen so far has me very excited for where Warlord Games is going to go. And if everything goes well, I will hopefully be reviewing this on day 1. Star Wars Legion just got a massive brand new refresh, pulling me heavily back into the game. For many of you who have stuck around this long, Star Wars Legion is the first game system I covered on this channel very heavily, and it is pretty much what made me make this channel. The new cover rules for Legion, for instance, fix big issues I've had. I have an old cover video talking about how I don't feel like they're great. I don't love their interactions, but just the base cover save with the white dice feels good. The new character rules and synergies are great and definitely needed for Rebels. The Republic got a really good, super nice rework, and the intention to move away from sitting back in a corner and being a corner gunline army is really nice. While there are other negatives like the new card layout being bad, and many missions scoring the same, and a print and play issue for a year, I have that all covered in that previous video about Legion if you're more interested in my deeper thoughts on it. However, the new rules have made me crank out a lot of my old Legion minis that are not done. and reinvigorated me to finish my Rebel and Republic army. And my Empire army, honestly, it's just reinvigorated me in Legion altogether. Also, the Legion scene locally has seemed to pick up a little bit. I think Star Wars Unlimited has kind of helped it in a weird way because it's made people remember that they have a Star Wars minigame, and with the big new releases, well, it works pretty well. Next up, we have Battletech. Battletech Mercenaries is now out. I got my package in, and boy oh boy do I absolutely love everything in it. I had previously made a video talking about how I had a love and hate relationship with normal Battletech, and I still do. I love it, and parts of it annoy me sometimes, but when the new mercenary rules, though, are amazing, and they will be fun to experiment in with my Alpha Strike campaign that I have going on. Also, when the new Force Packs go up for sale, it will be really, really hard to hold myself back from buying even more than I already have, because there's so many Force Packs are hits. So many of them are good hits. I wish I'd spent double the money I did in that Kickstarter, because oh my goodness, the 13 or 14 Force Packs I got were not enough. Next up, we have Cyberpunk Combat Zone. I have been getting into Combat Zone a lot, and they have an Edge Runners and Vehicles update in the work. Being able to use the rule set in a 2077 setting is absolutely fantastic, and the Combat Zone Vehicle update looks amazing, and I'll definitely be covering them in detail when they release, and when I pretty much get my hands on the Kickstarter I backed. Combat Zone has pretty much been obsessing me lately. I've been getting games of it wherever I can. I absolutely love it. It is a near perfect skirmish game. I have almost no complaints for it. It is so good. It is so solid. And I cannot wait for even more good things to come out that I have to praise for it. Because in general, I do think Combat Zone is a big game. It has the potential, the really solid rule set, to be something big. And I'm doing everything I can locally to help get that scene started. Next up on my radar, and the final thing on my radar for this summer, the only thing here I have not yet spent money on, is BLKOUT Badlands. BLKOUT has new vehicle rules, as well as, well, I say as well, Combat Zone has them as well. In the Badlands update, they also include new teams and units with new melee rules and the addition of vehicle models. I've had my eye on BLKOUT for a while, so expect a video deep diving into this game in the future. Anything that gives a nice little Titanfall aesthetic is good in my book, and the more I see of this game, the more I really like it. I especially love their new model designs. You can see some of them on the right. I cannot wait to get my hands on these. It will probably be my priority for sometime in September, October, to actually sit down and play this game, when Combat Zone and Age of Sigmar aren't my biggest draws. Thanks to everyone for subscribing. 2,000 is a milestone I never thought I would reach. Once I get a better setup, I plan on streaming and playing some of the games I mentioned here on Tabletop Simulator. A Pile of Potential series will also be starting in September because I've noticed my backlog has been getting a little high. This is kind of a year of new additions. It's a year of new releases. I don't necessarily know if new editions is the best term, but 3 games I play are all getting a new edition this year. Well, or did, despite the fact that Legion doesn't count it as one, and that's Bolt Action Legion and Age of Sigmar. So I really do consider it a year of new additions. Well, and technically Combat Zone as well. And technically Badlands. But I don't play Badlands yet, so that doesn't count. Anyway, I hope you discovered something new. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and I'll see you next Sunday.